Out of a total area of 462,840 square kilometers that Papua New Guinea has, 9,980 square kilometers is made up of land, while the rest is water. Almost 97% of land in PNG is still owned by traditional landowners, with the state owning the remaining 3%. The Department of Lands and Physical Planning administers all alienated land, both state-owned and freehold, in PNG. It also facilitates customary land issues at the discretion of the customary landowners for social and economic sustainability in an endeavor to provide better living for Papua New Guinean citizens. But there are grey areas between state-owned and customary land ownership in various provinces and districts around the country. Dr. One Rageau from the Customary Land Law Foundation in PNG spoke on MTV's In Focus program, defining how special and sincere customary land is to Papua New Guineans.
So customary land is to the very heart of Papua New Guineans. And if you want to know about that type of aspect, it's the livelihood of Papua New Guineans, because over many, many generations, people have lived by from the customary land resources. And second point is that it is the recognized spiritual element to the customary land. And thirdly, it is the soul of Papua New Guineans. So you got a livelihood, you got a spirit, and you got a soul. And Papua New Guinea, to that sense of customary land, is very, very important.
Laws relating to customary land have been a huge challenge because of this fact about customary land to Papua New Guineans.
Customary land is owned by Papua New Guineans. And when Papua New Guineans live many, many generations, it was from the beginning of times, before any explorers or any businessmen or any governments or anybody outside. There were people in Papua New Guinea. People were living on the customary land of our Papua New Guinea customary land. So in fact, there were people there. So when Papua New Guinea went through all the stages of development and come to Papua New Guinea independence in 1975, so about 45 years ago, there was a tendency that we need to use the laws, and the laws that we must understand that belong to Papua New Guineans. And I would like to make a point to all Papua New Guineans that to the national constitution we have yet to use your customary laws. And customary law is that respect is under that underlying law.
A research fellow from the PNG National Research Institute, Logea Now, who has done research into land issues in the country, also spoke on MTV's In Focus program.
All of us Papua New Guineans claim to own land in this country. It's an issue that we hold very dear, very close to our hearts. Its research informs us that 97% of land of total land in Papua New Guinea is still owned by customary landowners, with 3% of them already under state control or in private hands under private freeholds. So you can understand that because most of us Papua New Guineans still own land, we hold that very close to our hearts, and it's I'm actually privileged to be in a position to contribute to the discussions and debates around customary land, especially how we can improve access, mobilization, protect the rights of customary landowners, not just in the towns and major centers around the country, but also especially in the rural areas.
With the critical land issues and challenges identified around the country in relation to customary landowners, formal land ownership declaration and registration has been encouraged.
The process that is currently being advocated for is voluntary. So it is one of the options available for customary landowners to register their customary land. At the moment, it's a two-phase process. first phase is the ILG phase, or Incorporated Land Group phase. This is the phase in which customary landowners are given the opportunity to allow them to formalize their land ownership. So by registering their interest on customary land, it allows them to formalize their ownership, and so that others that are outside of that landowning unit, whether that be a clan or a tribe or a family unit, it allows parties that are outside of that formal unit to engage with them in a formal and legal, over formal and legal transactions. So that's the first phase of the process. Let me also point out that by getting an Incorporated Land Group or ILG certificate, that is not the title to the piece of land. This is only the process that recognizes formal ownership.
The voluntary customary land registration process is in two parts: integrated land group recognition and the actual registration with formal and legal transactions made. There is still work going on to improve the process.
This is where, after incorporating your land group or formalizing your social unit, landowners are then given the opportunity to obtain a title over a portion of land that they want to release for development or commercial purposes, whether that be for the state to use or investors, foreign or local investors to use for commercial opportunities. So basically, there are two phases in the process of registering your customary land. There's the ILG phase and the land registration phase. And both those processes are currently administered by the Department of Lands and Fiscal Planning.
In Parliament this week, concerns relating to both customary land and alienated or state land were raised by Kairuku Hiri MP Peter Isoaimo.
With district towns where local landowners or indigenous landowners are converging or coming in to try and claim land, saying that after on expiry of 99-year leases of state, the land reverts back to themselves. And they've taken over much of government properties, especially buildings.
Lands and Physical Planning Minister John Rosso responded to the concerns raised during question time to clarify things, particularly from a legal perspective.
There's been a lot of misconception on alienated land in Papua New Guinea. Alienated land, time alto osem state lease and 99-year lease, plenty of papa ground ting osem 99-year lease finish and by go back to papa ground. Nogat. The law states unequivocally, like definitely, that the land reverts back to the state and Papua legisla ground. Ogada alienated land lo Papua New Guinea. There is no go back to Papa ground. That is by law.
MP Isoaimo was concerned that some important government land and infrastructure are at risk of being lost to indigenous landowners if the responsible authorities do not act accordingly as required.
I think it was asked, or I asked the last minister in the last term of government, but he said it was a grey area that his department will come back to inform people of Papua New Guinea through this parliament. So number one question, suppose minister can talk clear along side law, along Land Administration Act or one kind law and got law department as to whether or not or last place he got right along this plus situation where all state lease, 99-year lease expire.
99-year lease finish. And we go back law when I'm government again looking suppose developing this ground or put him out the tender and up money got interest land can develop him with proper money or something or can develop him again. That goes for every single state alienated land in Papua New Guinea. Inside the alienated land, you got some land we're calling freehold, which most of our missions are on. The freehold land, and stop on the mission. That is what we cannot interfere with forfeiture or management. We can only interfere in the matters of physical planning.
The Central Provincial Government and the National Capital District Commission have been at loggerheads in recent months over land matters, with Governors Robert Agarobe and Poes Pakop seen as being at opposite ends of arguments. The Hiri Vanapa Sogeri or Hivaso concept is one that has clouds hanging over it as to who devised it and how it will be administered. The Kairukuhiri MP also raised concerns on the concept.
The famous Hivaso concept that people want to, or our leaders want to play politics on. If the minister can clarify whether or not this is a government policy by his department for Greater Port Moresby, or is it a concept they have, and whether or not the administration of it will be by his department to oversee, or the delegated functions now to central provincial government.
MP Isoaimo, whose electorate borders are implicated in the concept framework, asked Minister Rosso to clarify the matter.
He got confusion now, especially along electorate Blami. Sample I talk this government like Kizim Mogara Haplo Central Province na make him start. Or landslide, well, through his ministry, if he can clear him thinking long this concept now he got long end. So you me as leaders no can playing politics, you go come now, people clear straight as to responsibility lie along Husat.
MP Isoaimo said there is confusion over the concept now among people in his electorate and province, raising concerns of land boundaries and risk of exploitation. Minister Rosso clarified that most of the land implicated in the Hivaso concept is in Central Province land, but urged both NCD and Central Province to work together on it to come to an agreement with the Lands Department to provide oversight.
It is just a concept. It is a concept by NCDC through the governor from NCDC that it's a hiri vanapa na sogeri. And we got planning concept as well, trying to work together, one of developing more lig towns. But all those towns and Hivaso borders are actually inside the Central Province, most of it. So time all work, all must work, one time Central Province. And it is up to Central Province whether to say yes or no.
The Lands Minister said Hivaso is currently only a concept, not by law, in which he has directed the Lands Board to assist the Central Provincial Government in recent months in dealing with the concept.
Last, I think, 2 years, in my capacity as a Minister for Lands, I have made certain we've delegated responsibilities of the Lands Board to the Central Provincial Government, who are now managing their own destiny. We have also delegated the Physical Planning Board to the Central Provincial Government. So all that can work addition or usada loge ground or usada developing inside the Central Province boundaries.
After Minister Rosso said in his response statement that NCDC was the one that initiated the Hivaso concept, NCD Governor Poes Pakop immediately raised a point of order through the Speaker of Parliament to have his say on the matter.
But I want to correct that this plan did not was not created by us in NCDC, nor my office. I believe it's a plan that was formulated by National Planning.
However, despite of the NCD Governor's attempt in trying to correct the minister, the Speaker said his point of order was out of order, urging the Governor to liaise with Central Provincial Government and the Lands Department to devise the way forward.
Good,
Honorable Governor,
that's all I want to say. Thank you.
And point of order, you out of order, but you can go straight in one the minister or department, one them.
As the land registration process undergoes reviews for potential improvement, existing customary land laws remain a concern as researchers, policy makers and lawmakers endeavour to find and use the best fit for customary landowners in Papua New Guinea. The Marape government, since taking office, has been embarking on better project deals for Papua New Guineans and for them to utilize their land effectively for business purposes. But the struggle and challenges that the landowners are faced with under existing laws is a concern for many, especially those directly affected.